and welcome to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Sydney.
And I'm Issa, and every Friday, Cindy and I discuss it. Do I need to keep doing this every week?
Yes!
Okay. Every Friday, Cindy and I talk about a different romance movie or sometimes a TV series. And you can also join us the last Monday of every month when we talk about a romance book. And our April episode just came out this past Monday, so you can go listen to that. We read The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I always start talking about random stuff. Today we're talking about 10 Things I Hate About You. And it's my birthday this weekend, so this is a special birthday episode.
I was gonna sing you Happy Birthday in the style of Marilyn Monroe, but now I feel nervous. I had it all plotted out. I was like, I wasn't gonna actually sing the whole song, I was just gonna sing the first line and then make a joke about how, yes, I did choose the Marilyn Monroe version of Happy Birthday to sing to you, but I'm gonna chicken out now.
Well, thank you for at least telling us you were thinking about it, because even that is funny.
I'll sing it to you in person on Saturday.
That sounds romantic.
Dim the lights, everybody.
Oh my gosh. Do we have any other announcements? We just posted our May schedule. Cindy, do you want to tell us what we have coming up this month? I'm excited for this month, actually.
No, really. Like, when I posted this, I was like, wait, why is this month kind of goated? That's a word I'm trying to work into my vocabulary more. Okay, May 1. That's this episode. 10 things I hate about you. Okay, but next week we're doing The Devil Wears Prada 2. The next week we have Brokeback Mountain, and that was our first episode that we have 2 guests on, so we're really excited to share that one. And then the week after that, May 22nd, we're going to be doing Off Campus, which is a brand new Amazon Prime TV show. I think it actually comes out on the 16th. And then May 25th, we'll have our bonus book episode, which will be 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. And then this month has 5 Fridays, so this is a loaded month. So the last one of the month will be Roman Holiday. I think our oldest oldie.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
Audrey
yeah.
Hepburn.
I'm actually, excited to watch everything on this list.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's funny that we ended up doing 2 Heath Ledger movies in 1 month.
Yeah.
Very different vibes.
Very different. Well, we should have just made this a Heath Ledger month.
We
we could have done
like
Knight's
a Knight's
Tale.
Tale.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5. Could we have come up with 5 Heath Ledger romances?
Romances? I'd have to look at his filmography.
A Knight's Tale
more.
barely counts. There is kissing in it.
Yeah. We're watching The Devil Wears Prada.
I know, but that feels like it fits
it's
the
more
vibes,
true girl
so.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But I think A Knight's Tale still. I love A Knight's Tale.
Well, we should have actually done it last month. Last month was his birthday. April 4th.
Oh, dang.
Almost just a month before you. I would have sung Happy Birthday to Heath Ledger, Marilyn Monroe style.
Okay, before we start talking about 10 things I hate about you, we have a laundry list of other things we would like to discuss. Sydney, would you like to kick us off?
All right. Well, first of all, we
Sydney
always
revealed something to me.
Yeah.
And normally I I've really got my finger on the pulse. I always know what's going on. But Sydney said this to me before we hit record. Just I wish you would have said it on the podcast, because my reaction was I was shocked. But you just thought I already knew.
Yeah, I definitely assumed that you would have known about this. But now I'm nervous. I'm well, was it confirmed? But I don't know. I guess as confirmed as you get with celebrity gossip. But I had mentioned very casually to Issa, oh, do we want to talk about the engagement of Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz? And she was like, what?
I'm Googling it right now.
But
Harry Styles engaged.
It's funny because, I've seen several videos about it. But somebody was, talking about how it's funny that nobody is reacting to it because Zoe Kravitz is habitually engaged to people. She was engaged to Channing Tatum less than a year ago. So people are kind of just oh, whatever. She just gets engaged to people and then they call it off. Do you think they'll get married?
No.
I don't think they'll make it
You
to the
don't think
altar.
so either?
No. I give it maybe 9 months max.
9 more months?
Yeah.
Because8 months? 8 months?
8 months.
Or
yeah.
publicly, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, people That's the breaking news that you may or may not have heard. We'll see see how it unwraps. But
Well, speaking of Zoe Kravitz, that reminds me of that interview that Taylor Swift just did. I just wanted to say, because Sydney texted me and asked me for my thoughts on this. She said that one thing in the interview about how people, do paternity tests on her songs and like analyze who the song is about and blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like she's gaslighting us. Like, this is what she's wanted us to do the whole time. Like, she literally, in her first album, she would literally name drop men.
yeah,
And she's
not
like
even her
always
first
left.
album. Was Dear John not about John Mayer?
Well, yeah, true. That album too. Well, yeah, it was about John Mayer. And then he tried to sue her for it. And then she lost the lawsuit. And then like her very next performance, she sang "You're So Vain." You probably think this song is about you.
That's funny.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah,
The
she would
interview.
like leave secret messages and like her albums and the CDs you would buy, and this is like her brand. I mean, she has a right to change her mind and not want us to do that anymore, I guess. But don't pretend like you created this system.
Yeah. Well, then other people were like, well, no, like she's been asking us to stop for the past several years. And I was like, has she? Like, I'm not even a huge Swiftie, but everything that I've seen, like, that's still, like, she builds up and has surprises and she leaves clues and leaves hints, like, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. So I sent it to Issa and was like, am I, like, the only one confused by this? Or, yeah.
I guess maybe she wants us to stop doing it now that she's like, every song from here on out is just about Travis Kelce, so you can stop analyzing that.
Do you think she'll have, like, a private wedding, or will it be, like, the wedding of the century type deal?
I think she got asked about this, like, on the Graham Norton show or something, and I can't really remember what her response was. I think she's gonna have a pretty big wedding, if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't know if the wedding happens.
Yeah, that's the whole other thing. Seems like a lot of celebrities are engaged, but it's been a while since we've gotten a wedding.
Yeah, what was, like, the last big wedding that we got? Like Miley and Liam, and then they got divorced?
Yeah.
No, I feel like we're forgetting one.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Was
that literally was a royal wedding, so I actually don't even know when that was.
After Miley and Liam? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they've been married for a long... I don't know.
People need to start having... Well, but now people are, like, extra secretive about it. Like, for all we know, Tom Holland and Zendaya could be married. Like, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, like, have never came out and said if they're married or not. But, like, they've been together for all these years and, like, have kids together. I thought they were married. Yeah, people just, like, assume that they're married, which they could be. But, like, we don't have any photos or, like, anything where they've said it. I mean, like, people like being mysterious nowadays. So, like, the whole, like, Instagram, like, everyone loves to be mysterious now. It's, like, not just the normies. It's not just us. Like, celebrities, too, have, like, taken on this culture of privacy, and how dare they just give us what we want. No, I'm just kidding. But,
well, maybe it's because of, like, influencers and reality TV stars. Now they can be the messy public figures, and so celebrities can be more private.
True. But it does feel like celebrities are, like, now kind of trying to catch up with that. We have, like, so many options to, like, be entertained now that, like, people don't care as much about celebrities, and they don't really have this, like, grand sort of presence anymore. We're like, oh, it's just a celebrity, but, like, what does that even mean anymore? If, like, a TikTok influencer has more followers than a celebrity? And some people, like, take that really... Like, some people get really defensive, and they're like, why is this TikTok person on Dancing with the Stars, for example? Or, like, why is this TikTok person acting like they're a celebrity? And it's like, well, what's the definition of a celebrity? Because, like, some of these TikTok people have more fans and followers than these movie stars.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to, like, reality TV stars and, like, TikTok famous people. They're opening up and sharing their life.
Yeah.
So that makes people feel connected to them and makes people want to follow them. So when a celebrity is being private and not posting anything juicy or interesting anyway, why would you want to follow along with them? Why would you care if they go on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, and it's sort of like... I think it feeds into that sort of, like, dystopian feeling that a lot of people have been feeling lately where the celebrities are like ultra rich and they also like don't let you into their daily lives at all. So we're just going to assume that you're ultra privileged, you're ultra rich, you don't have any problem, like it feels completely unattainable, even because it's all like Nepo babies and connections, and like we're not even getting a whole lot of new people breaking into that, and so it feels very distant.
That's like have you heard about Margot's Got Money Problems? I haven't read that book. I actually thought the show looked like something I might like. But I've seen a few people complaining about Elle Fanning playing like a poor person. And they were like, it's just not really that much fun. Like when so many people really are struggling right now, like they should have brought on new talent to play this poor person.
Yeah.
Like Elle Fanning's cosplaying a poor person.
That's true. Like she's been famous since she was an infant.
Well, next on our list, there's 2 new rom-coms on our radar.
One of them is starring Chris Pine and Emma Stone. Do you think they'll make a good couple?
Are they the same age?
I think Chris Pine is older. Maybe
But like close to the same age. Pine is...
I'll look up Emma
Chris
Stone.
Pine is 45 and Emma Stone...
37.
Okay. I mean, close enough. Emma Stone is like in everything. What has Chris Pine been in recently? Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. He's been in some like... Well, he was in that one with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh, right?
But that was even before Dungeons and Dragons.
Is that even older?
Don't worry, darling.
Yeah. I think that he's been in some like kind of more like creative type. Well, no, wait. He was in Wonder Woman too. Wonder Woman was lame. He hasn't been in great shows.
So do we know what this rom-com is about that they're in? Universal dates rom-com The Catch for May 2027 as Emma Stone and Chris Pine officially close deals to star. A baseball rom-com? Brother.
Look, I just watched for the first time Fever Pitch that has Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore in it.
I'm
That
Googling it.
was a lame movie. That was a lame movie. And I was excited to watch it because I like Drew Barrymore. I thought I liked Jimmy Fallon, but I don't know. The more I watch him, the more I'm like, maybe I don't. He's like obsessed with the Boston Red Sox, and it's like interfering with his relationship because he's like so obsessed with it. And again, it was like this male-centered rom-com that we've been talking about. And I'm like, dude, why? Like, I guess I just don't know a whole lot of men that would like go show up to theaters to watch a movie about a grown man's baseball obsession, but in the end he overcomes that to get the girl. Like, it's just...
That sounds dumb.
Yeah, it's just like so bizarre that like they've catered to men in the silliest ways, but as soon as we ask for it, they're like, nope, you're asking too much.
No
like,
more...
Could you imagine the ridicule we would get if that same plot was made but reversed and say that a girl is so obsessed with Taylor Swift and she's going to like every show around the country and makes that her life and it's interfering with like this relationship that she's having. We would be harassed endlessly for that.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone's like claiming Fever Pitch is the best movie ever.
Well, no.
I've never even heard of this.
But were men bullied for it? I hope so. No, I'm just kidding.
The other rom-com that's coming out is One Night Only. And Sydney, you were telling me what the plot is.
Well,
I think you know more about it than I do.
I haven't actually read the plot. Here's what Google says. 2 strangers meet in a fictionalized New York City on the one night a year when premarital sex is legal, leading to a night of misadventures as they search for something more meaningful. So people have been comparing it to The Purge, but with a romance twist, where it is only one night a year can they go and like have a bunch of sex, I guess. I'm curious to see it.
The movie's starring Callum Turner and Monica Barbaro, who I actually have no idea who that is. Have you heard of her before?
Yes.
Well, she was in A Complete Unknown. That's a Timothée Chalamet movie.
Oh, Top Gun Maverick. I think that's what I've seen her in.
Did you like Callum Turner in Eternity?
Yeah, well, I thought he was the rat guy, right, at first. And I was like, this guy's looking a little too cute to be like this rat guy. I don't think he's like, oh my gosh, he's so drop dead stunning. But like, I think he's cute and that he was charming in Eternity. And another person in the comments was like, is this supposed to be like our new leading heartthrob? Like kind of implying that he was like ugly or uncharming. And I was like, well, I feel like that's a little too harsh.
Well, and it's like we always talk about anytime we watch an old movie, we're like, these were the rom-coms of, or sorry, these were the heartthrobs of the 80s or the 90s, like
Yeah.
Billy Crystal, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Fun.
That one guy that you were going to put in your lineup that was in the Groundhog's Day or whatever.
Bill
Bill
Murray.
Murray, Adam Sandler, you know. Jimmy Fallon can put himself at the lead
I
of a
mean,
rom-com.
Yeah, I would say Callum Turner's cuter than most of those guys.
Yeah. I'd say he has like a more suave energy about him too.
Yeah. Something we just like shamelessly do on this podcast is talk about the appearance of celebrities.
This is girl talk though, right? I mean, we said it would feel like a sleepover. Is it truly
like-
a sleepover if you're not doing this?
Yeah, and it's just like really hard not to when we're talking about romance movies. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, that is a factor.
If we were watching some like deep, serious movie about life, I wouldn't just be like, so do you think the lead was hot? Like,
yeah.
yeah. But we didn't watch Oppenheimer and be like, so what do you think about Cillian Murphy? Although
But he
a
is
lot of
kind
people,
of hot though.
a lot of people do talk about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait, you're like triggering so many other topics that we could talk about. Because Cillian Murphy, my brain just went down like a rabbit hole, but I'm not going to get into it. We have too many other things on our list. Okay. So that one, that rom-com One Night Only, that one comes out a lot sooner than the Emma Stone and Chris Pine one. That one comes out August 7th,
yeah.
2026. So we'll have to make sure we get that added to our lineup for August.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is my birthday episode. And so I have some personal anecdotes that I would like to share with the class, if I may. I feel like
The floor is yours.
I feel like we've already been rambling and we haven't even gotten to the movie yet, but I'm going to persevere.
We'll take it to the cutting board.
Yeah. Okay, so the cutting board.
Yeah. Is that what it's not called? The cutting floor?
The cutting room floor.
The cutting room floor.
I don't know, actually. A
Look, I'm
cutting
going to
board?
take it to the cutting board.
No, but that makes sense though. I think
Yeah,
you
what's a
just
cutting
coined-
room?
Yeah, no. Cutting board, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so I have an embarrassing story to tell you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting it to be embarrassing.
Yeah, I thought it would be funny to tell on the podcast.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so like I said at the very beginning, our bonus episode just came out this past Monday, and we recorded it the day before. We recorded it on Sunday, and I was supposed to edit it, and I knew I was supposed to edit it, but I had all these other things going on that night. So I was like, I'm just going to edit it really late at night. So I got home, and I was like, okay, I need to edit that episode, but I also low-key need to do some work. So I sat down and started working, and then I was like, this is stupid. I'm not working on Sunday night. I'm going to go to bed. Like, between, like, deciding to start with my work before I edited the podcast and deciding to go to bed, I, like, totally forgot about the podcast, okay? So I wake up Monday morning, and now I, like, really got to do some work because I didn't do any of it that I should have done on Friday or over the weekend. So now I'm, like, really behind on work. But I wake up, and I'm like, oh, I did not edit our podcast, and it's supposed to come out today, like, right now. So I sit down and I start editing this podcast, like, during my work hours. And then by that afternoon, I'm, like, really behind. And I like really needed to have something done, and my manager called me, and she's like so nice. I thought about telling a story about her because she's really awesome. Anyway, she like calls me and she's like, Issa, how are you doing? And I started crying because I started crying because I was stressed, and like I've been stressed for like weeks now, and I was like on my period. So I think like really like it didn't even have that much to do with like that exact day and that exact moment. But like, you know, when someone asks you how you're doing and all of a sudden you can't hold it in anymore. So like I started crying, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, girl, let me help you. Like, I'll take care of this. You go do this other thing. But then I realized after I hung up the phone with her, I was like, I literally have no right to be crying because I spent the first 4 hours of my day not working. I started them doing podcast stuff. So then I felt so bad for like manipulating my manager into like helping
You're
me.
like, I'm so stressed with work.
Yes, literally. And she like feels all bad for me as if I've been like working so hard all day when really it was like my own fault.
You've been working so hard for weeks.
Months.
And for months. Yeah. So it's still fair. You didn't manipulate
that's so
her.
true.
But you should have texted me.
Thank you for validating me.
You should have texted me and just asked me to do the podcast.
No, I've already been That's the thing, like, if I'm not slacking on work, I'm slacking on podcast stuff. If I'm slacking on podcast stuff, I'm slacking on work. So that's just life. Please listen. Please like and subscribe.
Please make this worth it.
Please make this our full-time jobs.
Well, dang. Now I feel like I've been slacking as a friend because I should have been that person that said, Issa, how are you? We don't get the chance to ask how we're doing because we're always talking
we're like,
about the
so
podcast.
What are you posting today? What are we going to post tomorrow? When are we going to record this episode? No, but like, we kind of joke about it a lot, but it really is fun. Like, are you still having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, you wouldn't say no on the podcast, would you?
I hate this, no. But we were going to record 2 episodes when Issa came the other week, and we ended up just doing 1. And we were like, you know what? Let's just spend some time with each other. Sometimes we're like really grinding, and at other times it's like, you know, if we let this go for a few days, like I think a couple weeks ago, there was a couple days we didn't post, right? But we were like, life comes first.
Yeah.
And I'm
our real jobs that we actually get paid for.
Yeah. I am proud that like we've stuck with this schedule though. There's been like several book episodes especially that I'm like, oh my gosh, this like it always happens like the worst week in timing of the whole entire month. But we've pushed through and we've done it.
I know. I really am proud of us. And like
mostly because of Issa.
What?
I don't have
mean?
I'm like the ADHD type B personality, which like usually after probably a month of this, I would have been like, nah, it's okay.
You're like, we don't have 1 million followers yet?
Yeah, okay. No, seriously. It's like any craft I start. I'm like, oh, I didn't learn how to sew overnight. Screw it. I'm never going to try this again.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Issa's personality really balances mine to like ensure, like she's holding me accountable. Maybe even if you don't know it or not, but I'm like, oh, I have to do this because, like, Issa's relying on this too.
That's funny because, like, I feel the same way. I'm like, well, I can't let Sydney down, even though I low-key have been letting you down as far as our social media posts go. And it's already 10 o'clock. I'm not posting a video today.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine.
I've told Sydney like 5 days in a row now. Oh, yeah, I'll post a video. Oh, yeah, I'll post a video.
I posted our carousel post, and you know, you were doing those like...
When you posted that, I lost all my motivation. I was like, yeah, we're good until tomorrow.
But Issa's done 2 series that required a total of 22 movies, and I've gotten through 3 Ryan Gosling movies. So you know what? Like,
okay, we'll call it even.
You're doing your part. Some crazy commitments.
Okay, I have one more thing I want to tell you. Okay, so Sydney's coming to see me this weekend, and I'm so excited. Me and my sister have been, trying to figure out how we're going to convince Sydney to just move to Boise. But last night I was like leaving my house, and I went out in the garage, and there was like a big black widow in my garage.
Ew.
And so Ryan just stepped on it, which was kind of crazy of him. And then today I went back out there, and I was like, I better just like peek around.
Your garage?
Yes.
You think I'm just like gonna be hanging out in your garage?
Well, I just want you to know. Okay, I was looking around. There's a black widow in each corner of our garage.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, this is unacceptable. Sydney, I have to get this taken care of before Sydney gets here.
Oh my gosh.
So I called pest control today, and they're coming on Friday before you get here to exterminate. Rest assured, by the time you get here on Friday night, there will be no black widows here.
We can have a movie night worry-free of black widows.
I mean, they're not inside my house, but still.
I can go sleep in your garage.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, don't you know, that's where I was going to have you sleep.
Yep. Lisa treats me like a queen. She gives me a blanket and the floor of her garage, and we call it good.
No. I have a bed for you.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
well, we should probably get into the movie. Yeah. We've already been going for like an hour.
Well, the thing is, like I said, we don't really talk that much, like, other than podcast stuff. And so sometimes when we start these podcasts, it's like, I actually just wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes my favorite episodes to listen back to are the ones where we're talking about random stuff.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes we get off on a side tangent that leads to a dead end, but other times it leads to a treasure, and we have
a treasure.
an amazing conversation. Yeah. All right. Well,
Okay.
Isa, tell us about this movie you picked. Why you picked it.
I just feel like we were due for a crowd pleaser. Not just for listeners, but for ourselves as well. Not that we've been watching movies we didn't enjoy, but I felt like this was going back to our roots. Just a good classic rom-com. And we watched Dawson Land last year for my birthday, so I didn't want to make us do it again.
Would you have if we didn't? If we
I do
didn't
love,
watch it last year?
well, as everybody knows, I do love Dawson Land, and I do want to do an episode on that at some point, but no, like 10 Things I Hate About You is obviously more popular. When was your first time watching this movie? Do you remember?
No, I mean, I can't remember my very first experience. I was probably in junior high, though.
Yeah. I think
Maybe
I mentioned this
13.
in another episode, but my first time watching part of it, it was on TV and I was watching it, but then my dad came in and I was like, I've got to change the channel. This show is too raunchy.
That's so funny.
And then I think I watched the whole thing like probably like on my phone or on my iPad, like in my room.
Well, it's actually funny because I had like the opposite reaction, whereas like when I first watched it, I don't think I thought anything of it. Like I thought, oh, it's all really normal, whatever. And then rewatching it as an adult, I was like, oh wow, this is like more crude than I remember. So I don't know. You'd think that would stand out to me more as a younger person.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did have a
Yeah.
conversation about this like on another podcast episode where our school experiences seem to be very different, and like
Oh yeah, because
my
you
s-
said you saw drawn penises all the time, but like for me, when
yeah,
they draw the penis on the guy's face, that really scandalized me as like a 15-year-old.
that was the first time you saw a penis.
No, it genuinely might have been.
Yeah, yeah, no, there was penises drawn like everywhere, all day, every day, out of the fog on the bus window. Like, yeah, it was
That's
just everywhere. So I think the thing that like was really scandalizing about that though was that it wasn't just that it was a drawn penis, but that it's like going into his mouth.
yeah.
It was kind of a gross drawing, to be honest. Something about how that one was drawn, you were like, ew,
Yeah, no, it's gross.
right on his face. It's because it's like I'm like really analyzing this drawing, but like everybody drew them in school like flat, like very 2D, and this one was like like, you know what I mean? It's like you're viewing it from the side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
No.
just drawn like flat on his cheek.
No,
And I
yeah,
was like,
it still grosses me
yeah,
out to this day.
it's gross.
Oh, man. Well, have you watched the movie recently or like, I mean, besides for the
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, I actually just watched it like a couple months ago too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it for a couple years. A funny tidbit. Brian, he'll pretty much watch anything with me, even if it's quote unquote girly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this conversation with Ryan like once a year. I'm like, have you ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You? And he's like, yeah, because it was so-and-so's favorite movie. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. It was one of his ex-girlfriend's favorite movies.
You're like,
So
I get it. You watched this with
yeah.
another woman.
Yeah. So I actually don't think I've watched it. Not that I like
Like, with
actually
him.
care or anything, but like, I don't think I've watched it like since we've been married. Because I'm
Well, I
like, oh,
guess
you've already
that's-
seen it. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like the good thing about being married to somebody from another country, because every woman that he dated before me is literally not in this country, one. Two, like we have no similar like spaces. Like it's like there's no chance we're going to like the same movie theater or the same
Yeah.
restaurant, you know? And three,
Or you'll run into them, yeah.
Yeah. And like just even I mean, obviously he watched a lot of American stuff, but like even just what you're watching and consuming is so different that there's probably not even a lot of crossover like that too.
Mhm.
So I've never thought about that. And I hate to admit it, but I think that would bug me. Like if it was his ex-girlfriend's favorite movie and you know that they like watched it often together, you know.
And they were probably cuddling and stuff.
Probably kissing and stuff. Well, I don't know.
Oh, brother.
Maybe
Well,
they were
whatever.
really polite
I'm not
kids.
gonna let it ruin the movie for me.
Yeah,
It's
it's a good one. You can't.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't think we need to do a plot synopsis. Everybody's seen this movie. And of course, everyone's read Taming of the Shrew, so
I
they
have
know.
not.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait a second.
No, I was just like, if you've
When
never
was
seen 10
everyone
Things...
reading this?
No. Okay, I think, because like I said, I haven't watched the movie for a couple years. And my two main takeaways, literally every time I saw Heath Ledger's face, I was like, shit, he's so hot in this movie. And my other main takeaway is it's literally hilarious. Like, pretty much every character made me laugh at one point or another. Even the villain, Joey, is so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, it was like even funnier than I remember.
Yeah, I agree. I think the joke, I mean, most of the elite rom-coms are funnier watching them as an adult. It's like, I think some of the humor naturally, like, especially if you're watching them when you're like 13, does go over your head, you know? And like now, like being an adult and having adult experiences just makes some of it so much funnier. Like the dad, like being a doctor, he's like an OB, right? And like making his daughter like walk around with that like pregnant belly on. Like now that I'm a parent, I'm like iconic. Love it.
Yeah, I know, that's a funny part. And it looks heavy too.
Oh yeah. Like I'm not kidding, like when she was wearing it, I could like feel that weight on me. Like a phantom weight.
A phantom weight.
What
Do you
a
like
life.
Bianca?
Like her
Because
character?
I was trying to decide if I didn't really like her the whole time, and I've always felt that way. But I was trying to decide if that was just internalized misogyny. But I think she's annoying.
No, I don't really like her. I think I would have liked her more if she had turned away from Joey sooner. Like it felt like it like took too long. Like your sister's having a heart to heart with you. She's giving you these warnings. She's like, I don't know. And maybe it's just like the older sister in me that like if my younger siblings, like if I knew something and I was trying to like warn them about it, like I'd get so annoyed, you know? So I don't know if it's that, but like I could never really, I don't know.
Well,
I just don't care for her.
I mean, yeah, neither do I. But at the point where Kat finally told her history with Joey, I mean, it made me mad that she got mad at Kat in that moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But she had already decided not to go to prom with Joey,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Because Joseph Gordon-Levitt picks her up. I can't remember his character's name, to be honest.
It's gonna bug me. Let me look it up, but because I can't keep calling him Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but I also can't call him Joseph.
That's a huge mouthful.
Cameron.
Okay.
I think that if you didn't like her and were like, oh, I don't like her, she's an airhead, then maybe that's like internalized misogyny. I just think her character was like, I don't think that she was a good sister.
No, and like even when she was all mad that Kat wouldn't go to prom, so she couldn't go to prom, at first I was like, yeah, I mean, every girl should get to go to prom if they want to go to prom. That's really annoying. But then she reveals that she's only a sophomore, and I'm like, it's fine.
Girl, you got 2 more years.
Yeah. You don't need to go to prom this year.
Also, like, take that out on your dad, not your sister. If your sister's not comfortable going to prom, she's not comfortable. Like, don't guilt trip her. Go whine at your dad.
Yeah.
So.
No, literally.
Oh, that's the other thing. When I was looking at this cast lineup, we talked about this briefly in the other episode too, but like the principal also, like all of her little scenes, like I think when I was younger, those ones did make me a little uncomfortable. But like now I'm like, oh man, she's hilarious. Like that's so
now
funny.
that we read smut.
Yeah, that was funny. So
well, the words she was using, because now, yeah, like I said, now that we read smut, I remembered that scene was coming, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is actually going to sound like any of the books that we read. And I was like, no,
we don't read that kind of smut.
This is the word choice she's going with. It doesn't quite fit.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I think what makes this movie stand out from like a lot of other rom-coms from this time is that it was so ahead of its time. And so like even the jokes, okay, so there's this girl that has a TikTok series that she eats like an Oreo for every time they make some sort of like fat joke or diet joke or something like that. I think Bridget Jones' Diary was like 16 Oreos.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a couple other ones that she did that I can't remember them now. She did 10 Things I Hate About You, and there was 0. No
Oh,
mentions
wow.
of anything that they're eating, you know? And so, like, even things like that, it's like the humor and the jokes were not like, I mean, okay, there were jokes about, like, Kat, obviously, and, like, her being a feminist, but, like, she was, like, such an icon and so cool that those jokes were like, well, you're the loser making that joke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's still like the hero of the movie.
Yeah. So, like, none of these comments were made, like, to a point where they were, like, actually, like, judging women or tearing women down or, like, at a woman's expense. Like, I think, like, a lot of other stuff, like, doesn't age well, especially around, like, how women are portrayed or treated. And this one, like, just felt so ahead of the time. And sometimes I forget that it takes place in Seattle, which then I was like, oh, well, that totally makes sense. Like, of course, the Seattle girl in the 90s is going to be so cool. You watch it today and, like, she's still cool. Like, all the points still stand. The jokes still hit because they're not, like, weird or creepy or outdated, you know?
The only part that I forgot about that I was like, oh, they probably wouldn't do that in 2026 was when she flashes her teacher.
Yeah.
But I liked her outfit in that scene. I liked all of her outfits, actually. I want to go back to Kat being an icon, but the other thing I want to say is I was really obsessed with her hair the whole time, except for I hate the way they do her hair for prom.
I know.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to what you were saying about Kat being a 90s Seattle feminist icon, that's why I wanted to look up The Taming of the Shrew. I've never read it. I didn't know anything about it other than that's what this movie was based on. But I was curious about the shrew character in the original Shakespeare play because I was like, there's no way Shakespeare... Yeah. I was like, there's no way Shakespeare wrote like a feminist icon. And I was correct. Let me...
Darn it.
They like literally tame her.
So this is like Grease, but the opposite.
Yeah. Let me read you... I'll just read you the last paragraph of the plot synopsis of The Taming of the Shrew. So, in the final scene of the play, there are 3 newly married couples, Bianca and Lucentio. Maybe I'm not saying that right. So, her name really is Bianca in the play. This other random couple that we don't really care about. And then Katerina and Petruchio. So Kat and Patrick.
Oh.
Because of the general opinion that... I'll just call him Patrick. Because of the general opinion that Patrick is married to a shrew, a good-natured quarrel breaks out amongst the 3 men about whose wife is the most obedient. Patrick proposes a wager whereby each will send a servant to call for his wife, and whichever comes most obediently will have won the wager for her husband. Kat is the only one of the 3 who comes, winning the wager for Patrick. She then hauls the other 2 wives into the room, giving a speech on why wives should always obey their husbands. The play ends with all of the men marveling at how successfully Patrick has tamed the shrew. So I kind of like that they took this play and this concept of the shrew and turned her into Kat of the movie.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe some Shakespearean expert out there will call me out, but what's this hype around Shakespeare? Because Romeo and Juliet sucks. This story sounds like it sucks. Like, I guess I'd need to live back then to, like, really see, like, what was, like, revolutionary about what he was doing, but that sounds not fun at all. It doesn't even sound like an interesting story, even if I was living back then.
Well, you probably would have been a more obedient wife back then, so maybe you would enjoy it.
I'd be like... What a perfect woman. Bravo. No, I love that they made that better. Like,
yeah.
Do you think people, like, were pushing back on it? Like Wuthering Heights or, like,
probably
that's not a real adaptation.
That's actually so funny to think about, but no, I doubt it. I bet nobody cares about The Taming of the Shrew. I was trying to read, like, the whole plot synopsis, and I was getting kind of confused with all the characters' names. Like, Lucentio, pretty much every character ends with EO.
Yeah.
So I was getting mixed up. But from what I could gather, it does follow the plot. Like, the movie did follow the plot of the original play more than I was expecting. I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, have you read Emma or watched? You have watched Emma, right?
I've read it and watched it, yeah.
I've never seen Emma and I've never read the book either. But a lot of people say that Clueless is actually like a great adaptation of that too. But I feel like I'm missing out on all of these like modern retellings because I'm not familiar with any of the original stories. So I don't see or like understand that sort of depth, you know? Would you say
Yeah.
Clueless follows it pretty well?
It's been a while since I've seen Clueless or Emma.
So
But
we'll need to follow up.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is like, you know how in Clueless she ends up with her like stepbrother?
Yeah.
Is it her stepbrother?
It's her ex stepbrother, but yes, he was
I
her
think-
stepbrother, and then they get
I think
divorced.
in Emma, it's less weird than that, surprisingly. It's kind of funny because you'd think in Jane Austen, like, she might marry a cousin or something.
Yeah, make it something weird.
Yeah, somehow
The
in
modern
Clueless,
retelling.
yeah, somehow in Clueless they made it even weirder.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Because that's like
I
in
mean-
Pride and Prejudice, they were trying to get Lizzie to marry, like, Mr. Collins was like their first cousin, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry, I digress.
but okay, I won't try to justify.
Well, finish
that.
your thought. No, finish
Well,
your
I
thought.
was
Oh,
just
you were gonna.
I was like, yeah. I mean, I was going to justify it a little bit because I don't think they're not blood related, okay? No. But I don't even think they were siblings for very long. Like, I guess I don't know the details though, so I won't
In
defend it.
Clueless?
Yeah, like I won't defend it or go against it. I'd need to know like how long were their parents married to each other? How old were they when they were married to each other? It sounded though like they like got married and divorced pretty quick, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like why is Josh always here?" And he was like, "You divorce wives, not children or whatever." Like, and I think that he just like wanted Josh to have like a good father figure, but they didn't actually grow up as like step siblings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to be
But-
honest, it doesn't actually bother me that much.
You're like, I don't care.
Well, let me finish my thought because it's kind of like what we were saying in our bonus episode about like the quote
Yeah,
unquote cheating in people we meet
Mhm.
on vacation or whatever. It's like I can look
It's just a
past
movie.
it for a movie. Yeah.
If you were telling me right now you were going to marry your
Yeah,
ex-stepbrother, I'd probably feel differently.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's Paul Rudd and
Yeah.
Alicia Silverstone. Okay, yeah, they look hot together.
Yeah,
Make
you're
'em
like,
kiss.
whatever. Yeah, the more concerning part of that was not that they were ex-step siblings, but that he was like in law school. Well, I guess actually he was just like a freshman in college. I thought he was in law school because he wanted to be a lawyer like her dad, but then once I looked into it more, I was like, oh, well, not to say he's just a freshman. He's still an adult and she's still 16.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
but I'm like, why are we skipping straight to like the ex-sibling part and we're not talking about the whole he's an adult and she's a child part?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
Speaking
anyways,
of,
Clueless is a whole nother conversation.
I'm going to use your favorite segue. Speaking of children versus adults. Okay, so Heath Ledger was 20, 10 Things I Hate About You,
Okay.
which he looks like a man.
You could have
for
told me he
20
was
years old.
35 and I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay.
Wait, let me look up how old Julia Stiles was. She was 18, I think. Yeah,
What year was she born?
1981.
Okay. That's the same year Bianca was born, actually.
Oh, really? The actress?
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They were all born in 1981.
Another thing I was curious about since our Brokeback Mountain episode is coming out soon. So 10 Things I Hate About You came out in 1999. And then A Knight's Tale came out in 2001. And Brokeback Mountain came out in 2005. And then The Dark Knight came out in 2008. And then what year did he die?
Hit after hit.
I know. As I was watching this movie, I was like, I mean, those are the only 4 Heath Ledger movies I've seen, but I was like, I've never seen a Heath Ledger movie that I didn't like.
He died before The Dark Knight came out.
Oh,
He died in
really?
2008 in January because like he won an award for it, but he was already passed away.
Well, seriously, after watching Brokeback Mountain, I mean, I already loved Heath Ledger, but I just have like a whole new respect for him.
Yeah, it makes me sad to think like obviously his life was worth a lot more than his career. So it makes me sad that, like, he didn't get to see his daughter grow up and things like that. More so. But it does make me sad that we didn't really get to see, like, where his career would have taken him, because he really had the potential to be, like, a really big name. I just think that he would have been, like, one of the greats, you know?
Yeah, even in 10 Things I Hate About You, it's like a lighthearted, funny movie, but I think his acting definitely stands out compared to everybody. And I
Yeah.
really enjoy Julia Stiles in this movie, but I mean, yeah, if you're comparing the two, I think
Yeah.
his acting is significantly better.
And every
But
movie you
okay,
just said, like, he plays vastly different roles
yeah.
and does so well in all of them, where Julia Stiles, like, kind of went on to be typecast a little bit.
Yeah, but I will say she kills it in towards the end when she reads her poem, the
Oh, yeah.
iconic scene where she starts crying.
Yes. Yes, she's so good. Have you seen her other, like, romance movies, like The Prince and Me or Save the Last Dance?
No, I actually haven't.
I'm trying to see if
Are
there
they
was.
good?
I don't remember a ton about The Prince and Me. I think I've only seen it once, but I do remember there being a really good kissing scene, so maybe we need to watch it. Save the Last Dance, I mean, she gets made fun of a lot because she does, you know, that hip hop.
Yes, I've seen that clip. That's
Wow, she
funny.
actually,
Save the Last Dance. We should watch that actually for an episode.
it was kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's sort of like, it's just like the same genre of movie as, like, Step Up, where, yeah, it's just a little, like, you know, student getting into Juilliard by incorporating hip hop into their ballet routine. Like, so if we're gonna do Save the Last Dance, we might just need to make it a double feature and watch Step
And
Up.
do Step Up. Okay. Well, I definitely think in last week's episode we were talking about how out of all the movies we've watched, there's actually only a few that we
Yeah.
love. And I would definitely add this one to the list. And I don't want to sidetrack us too much, but one we didn't mention that again, now that we've watched a bigger handful,
Yeah.
I think I might increase my rating that I originally gave it, When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Now that we've watched some more, I think we were too hard on that one.
That's true. I don't know how.
And by hard, I mean, we gave it a 3.5, but now I'm like, that was probably more like a 4-star movie. I mean, we forgot about it when we were talking about Before Sunrise and Dirty
Yeah.
Dancing, but I think it deserves a pretty
you're
high
right.
spot.
What did we? Okay, let me see what we rated it.
I know I rated it like 3.5. Oh my
You gave it a
gosh.
3.5. Okay, yeah, you gave it a 3.5, and it looks like I gave it a 3.75. I don't know why I was scared to give it the 4-star rating that I like so closely
Yeah.
put it there, but I actually kind of want to rewatch it now. Now that it was one of our earliest ones, like, I already want to rewatch Before Sunrise and When Harry Met Sally.
Same. I've been wanting to rewatch Before Sunrise, actually.
So-
I think, remember when we did the first episode and you were like, yeah, but I don't know if we do like a whole other episode dedicated to the sequels. But now I'm like, I think we got it because we keep bringing it up.
I know. Well, maybe we can do one on, like, both the sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to, because I've read some stuff now about, like, how it continued, and I'm like, what? So I think we should, yeah. But this one is up there. So, like, Dirty Dancing's not a rom-com. Before Sunrise, not a rom-com. But When Harry Met Sally is. I'd still put this one above When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, yeah,
but,
for sure.
But I would give this 5 stars.
10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it 5 stars just for the kissing alone. Every single time Heath Ledger kissed her, I was like, I haven't felt that giddy since Ethan Hawke and the French girl, I can't remember her name, kissed when they said goodbye at the
Celine?
train, our very first episode. Or maybe
Yeah.
Johnny and Baby. But like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, when they're playing paintball and then he like tackles her to the ground and then he like throws his goggles in the air and kisses her.
Yeah.
It's so
No,
good.
that's true. That's so cute.
Literally
Okay,
every kiss. Sorry, am I
But
getting
now that you're
ahead?
bringing up the kissing scenes, it reminded me of When Harry Met Sally and how he was all like weirded out that they like slept together, and then that kind of just pissed me off again.
Well, yeah, I think that's why we kind of lowered our rating, because I do think the kiss really has a huge impact on how we feel about the movie. Genuinely. As I was
Yeah.
watching 10 Things I Hate About You, that's what I was realizing. I don't know what that says about us. Like, but as a whole, though, like that movie
It was really good.
good. Yeah.
But it was just weird that like he like pity sleeps with her and then she's happy the next morning and he's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, get me out of here. Like I did not
See,
like
now
that.
that you're bringing it up again, I'm like, okay, maybe 3.5 was enough.
Yeah. But you know, we did say that I don't think we've given like any movie a 4-star. Well, I think technically we gave Eternity a 4-star, but we felt like maybe we were being too generous. I guess I gave Brokeback Mountain 4 stars too, which no one else has seen yet, our episode on that. But even more so, like giving Brokeback Mountain 4 stars even more solidifies giving When Harry Met Sally the 3.75 or whatever I gave it, you know? Like
That's true. If you're
But
not going to
there's-
give Brokeback Mountain 5 stars, yeah.
but there's such different genres too. And that's even the
Yeah.
hard thing with Brokeback Mountain. Like it was so like just sad the whole time that it's hard to give that like 5 stars. It was so sad. Do you know what I mean? Like because part of what I'm rating, I'm like, yeah, am I rating like the film, the story, or am I rating like the vibes, like how I'm feeling throughout the whole thing? That is just such a tragic story. And so like ones like this, 10 Things I Hate About You, like the whole time, like you said, like I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling giddy, I'm like, it's so cute, I love it. So it's like easy to give it a 5 stars, you know?
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing about movies like Brokeback Mountain. Like in the moment when I was watching it, and sorry, I know this conversation is all over the place. We'll come back to 10 Things I Hate About You. But in the moment as I was watching it, I was like, this is really sad. A lot of the characters actually aren't that likable, and it's kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you watch a movie and then you can't stop thinking about it for the next week or two. And when that happens to me, that's when I'm like,
That's true.
you know what? That was a 5-star movie. I can't stop thinking about it.
And it's one that you kind of do have to like
Sit with.
back from it. Yeah, like get away from the movie and more so reflect on the overall story it's really telling you and what that means. And like that story, that like that message is 5 stars. Even if like the viewing experience wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Like viewing experience and like story are almost like 2 different things. Like viewing experience for Yumi and Tuscany was like 5 stars. That was so fun. That was so fun to be in the theaters full of girls and we were all laughing and giggling and like cheering for shirtless Reggae Jean Page. But like other movies, the viewing experience is like so hard and miserable. You're like sobbing and like painful. But yeah, the message is like obviously Yumi and Tuscany message versus Brokeback Mountain message. Yeah, one is 5 stars and one isn't. I'll let you decide which one is which. But no, that is a really good point. Like, yeah. But this one, to bring it back to speaking of movies that have good viewing experiences and good messages, I do think that this message overall is pretty good, you know? It's not like sending any sort of mixed signals of like changing who you are or like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel
Kat
like
stays
it's
true
pretty
to
good.
herself. And I mean, Patrick does fix it by buying her a present, but sometimes that's enough.
Yeah, somebody in the comments of TikTok was like, he never said sorry, by the way. And somebody was like, yeah, he didn't say it because instead he showed it. Like, what?
That's so annoying.
Also, it's a movie. We didn't hear every conversation they had. Like, I'm sure that he says sorry. And his singing scene in the stadium.
Was that really him singing? I meant to Google that.
A good question.
Okay, apparently he really was singing in that scene.
Okay.
Well, we need to keep going through their kisses because I wasn't done.
You're like, okay, wait, you
So
listed the ones
So he
playing
was like,
paintball.
this movie had some good messages, and I was like, yeah.
But did you see that tongue slip? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, okay, can we go back to the kisses? Okay, so there's the paintball kiss, and then immediately following that, he takes her home and he's like kissing her neck and complimenting her.
Yeah.
And then they kind of get in a little fight, but it's still so cute. And then
I guess that is a bad message. That like I'm overlooking the whole like
How he's getting
Bet.
paid to date her.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that was
that's
something
okay.
I wanted to ask you because that's pretty bad. Like, I
Yeah.
think that that's worse than the scheming that was going on in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. At least in that one, they were both kind of playing each other.
Yeah.
But, like, I would be so devastated if I found out the guy I was dating. Well, obviously. Can you even imagine? You find out your boyfriend is being paid to be your boyfriend?
But you know what? Honestly, I know that like the correct answer if that happened to me as a teenager is that like I should draw the line and be like, that's not okay. You're not getting rewarded for this and like cut him loose. But it's Heath Ledger. Like,
And he really did fall for her.
and he liked her. Yeah, like I think that
Yeah.
I think genuinely if I was in high school and a guy said, "Yes, I took this bet, but I really do have feelings for you," and he looked and acted like Patrick. I mean, I guess I could skip the smoking, but overall, if he looked and acted like Patrick, I would not even be so strong as she was. Like, she did kind of go no contact with him for a while and, like, wrote this whole poem and was like, this is why I hate you, blah, 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 but I love you. I would have been like that same night, like, I was thinking about it and it's actually okay. Do you want to come over?
What he really should have done is when he kissed her after the paintballing, because I guess in my mind, he was like, okay, I have feelings for her. I'm going to
He should have
kiss
just
her.
told her.
Yeah, he should have just told her in that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
That's where he went wrong. Because then he proceeds to still ask her to prom under false pretenses.
Yeah. I feel like I was just watching something where there was a bet. I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so more kisses? What was the best kiss in your opinion?
Well, I did forget how good the paintball kiss was because I think we talked about the final kiss in a recent episode. So yeah, the paintball one was better than I remember, but I still think the last one is the best. And I forgot that she interrupts him twice because so they're like kissing and it's really good. And then she's like, okay, but you can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up. And then he starts kissing her again. And then she's like, okay, but, and then he immediately cuts her off. It's so hot.
And you know what I really love about that kiss? Is he is smiling like the whole time.
Yeah, and like his hands are on her face. Yeah, it's
like
so cute.
He looks so happy. I don't think we get enough like romance movies where the men are like gleeful that they have this woman,
Bring back Glee. And the other thing is the soundtrack is so good.
Oh yeah.
Like when they're kissing, every scene that they kiss, the music is good. Like the paintball kiss and the end. The whole movie, the soundtrack's good.
Like this whole movie is so good. Did we mention
Yeah,
that?
I'm like, actually, and this scene was good, and okay, but to be honest, I don't really care about the Joseph Gordon-Levitt plot.
Yeah, I don't either.
Even though it's like that's actually central to what's going on with Kat and Patrick.
I think I would have cared about it more if they did make Bianca more likable. But
right, yeah.
Because she wasn't very likable, then like, yeah, I didn't care about their happiness at all.
But I do like that Cameron called her out. Okay, what are the funniest lines? Sorry, I'm getting tired, you guys. And there's something in my eye, so if you're watching the video and rubbing my eye, that's why.
My favorite line?
What are just like not necessarily I literally can't talk. I'm slurring my words. Not necessarily your favorite line, but just like the funniest lines to you. Because one of my favorite lines is when they're trying to convince Patrick to join their scheme.
Yeah.
And Cameron's explaining to him that he like really wants to be with Bianca after Joey had just explained to him that he wants to be with Bianca.
Oh yeah.
And Patrick goes, what is it with this girl? Does she have beer flavored nipples or something?
Yeah. That's the other
one.
thing. Yeah, like when you ask that, I'm like, I didn't write down a specific line like I do with other movies because I think with this one, like, it's sort of like what we were talking about with Some Kind of Wonderful. Like some movies, except for this one, had like a better story and great dialogue. That one kind of just had good dialogue, but like it's like I loved every line in like the whole entire movie. This isn't really like a zinger line like that, but it's just a part that always makes me laugh. Is when every scene where she's in the classroom with her teachers, it's just like so funny to me. I love the teacher. I love those little like Jamaican white dudes. But it's like, what does he sends somebody to the principal office, and then she like says something sassy back, and he's like, you too, and she's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, something about that scene, like the whole dynamic of that classroom just always cracked me up. And that teacher was like, bro, I'm fed up with all of you. Like, I don't care, just get out of my classroom. That always made me laugh.
Okay, I was actually gonna bring that up because the teacher asked the class if they liked the Hemingway book that they read, and everyone was kind of like, yeah, I liked it. And then she's like, well, actually, he was, I can't remember,
Misogynistic.
misogynistic, abusive, blah 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 blah. And I was like, wow, that's like me and Sydney.
We would have been sent to detention for that.
Yeah, like anytime we're discussing anything, we're like, well, actually, the patriarchy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're like,
No,
well, what
that's
about
so
this?
true.
Well, actually, this. Well, yeah. But then her teacher like calls her out, and he's like, listen, you're like, I don't need your upper middle class white girl feminism. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even know what you're talking about.
I do wish that I was a little bit more focused in school in high school, and that I could have been as iconic as her, like read these books and been like, actually, here's my feminist opinion. But I was not her. But I think that's cool. That's what's like everything we're talking about, we're like, but this is why it's so good, or this is why it's so cool. Because how many rom-coms do we watch where like the female lead is like not just like a good character in a rom-com, but somebody that like you might actually think this could be cool, like to have my teenager look up to this rom-com lead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
a
that's
lot of
so
them
true.
are, successful business women or whatever. But with this being like a high school movie, it's cool that she was like so self-assured and like who she was and what she stood for and like her views on the world. Like, yeah, my kids can look up to her.
Yeah, and I do like, I mean, not that they had to give her some sort of backstory to explain why she was the way she was. Like, I think she could just be that way and that's fine. But I do like that they included that because the thing with her and Joey, it made so much sense. It's like, yeah, if that happened to me in 9th grade, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
If that happened to me in 9th grade, I would feel the same way. And I think it's cool that she turned that into like, okay, well, I'm never going to do anything again just because everybody else is doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And it wasn't even like it also didn't paint her out to be like a bad person for doing those things. It didn't make it seem like it's a bad thing to like be popular or to make those choices or be with a certain crowd, but it's a bad thing if you're only doing it because you're feeling pressured to,
Yeah.
And so, like, I think it did make that clear that like Bianca, like I said, like she's not unlikable because she's popular. Like they made it clear that she's different from Kat and like that was okay too, And like you can be popular and you could want to go to prom or you could want to stay home. Whatever personality you choose is fine as long as you're doing it for like you and your happiness and like what you want,
Well, should we go through our ratings?
Yeah.
And I do want to hear your thoughts on if you think Kat and Patrick would stay together. Do you want to go first? I feel like I always do my ratings first and then you're like, yeah, same.
5 overall. Kiss 5. Chemistry 5. What else?
I think just the longevity of the couple.
Longevity. I would love for them to stay together forever, but it's hard to say because I think that, Kat was gonna go across the country for college. Was Patrick gonna follow her? And
Yeah.
we didn't really get to see any part of him. It's funny because like when we were talking about Beach Read and like Emily Henry's books, we talk about how they're more equally like the guy, like the MMC and the FMC's story. Like they both get these backstories and complexities and details, and we know about both of them in both of their lives. This one does definitely lean more towards Kat, and at some points I'm like, I don't really know very much about Patrick.
Yeah, there's a part where
So-
like, sorry, I wasn't shushing you. I just was stuttering. Did it sound like I was
No,
shushing you?
I didn't think you were shushing.
I just
would
literally
be shocked if you were shushing me.
My brain is shutting down. We probably need to wrap this up soon.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the scene where they sit and debunk the myths and rumors about each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's like all the backstory we get on
Yeah.
Patrick.
Like, does he want to go to college? Does he have a job? Like,
Yeah. And Sarah Lawrence, that's like an expensive school, isn't it?
yeah, that's like a really, really fancy private school.
Okay, but another thing that's kind of funny is that they just randomly decide to let Heath Ledger be Australian in this movie.
Yeah.
And then they throw in that he lived in Australia until he was 10, but I wonder why they decided to do that. Maybe they just thought it was hot.
Yeah, maybe. That's true.
Okay, so you don't think Kat and Patrick would stay together?
I think that, I mean, like, they could if they wanted to, you know? Like, I don't think that they're, like, completely incompatible or anything, but, I think that she has, like, a lot of aspirations and career goals, and, it just might depend on him. What do you think? What are your ratings, and what do you think?
I think 5s across the board, like you said. And I was getting sad thinking about it because I was pondering my answer for the podcast, and I was like, I don't want to say this, but I don't think they would stay together forever.
Yeah.
I think they would grow apart,
I think it
and
would
it
be
makes me
sort
sad,
of
but
La La Landish. Like, that they would kind of help motivate and drive each other and, like, see each other's potential and, like, help get closer to those goals, but they wouldn't be the end goal.
I'm looking up. I'm on AO3.
Fanfiction?
Like, that's how good the kiss was. I was like, I kind of need some fan fiction of them. Yes, look, I knew this would be what it would be about. The night before Kat had to ship off to Sarah Lawrence, Patrick showed up at her doorstep. It's only one chapter, 11,000 hits. I might read this tonight after we're done.
Honestly, I've thought about, like, going back to fanfiction so many times in the past year because there's so many stories that I've been loving, but then I go and, like, read a book because I want something like this movie or whatever, and they're never as good.
Yeah.
Fanfiction just really hits. Before we wrap up, though, we're going to play a little game of this or that, I guess is what we can call it, of 90s leading men. Okay?
Okay.
Heath Ledger or Ethan Hawke in Before Sunrise.
Dang, you're actually
Starting off strong.
Well, I mean, no, I'm going to go with Heath Ledger, but I really have developed a soft spot for Ethan Hawke.
Well, okay, it's hard because Heath Ledger is like Heath Ledger. I don't know if any of these guys are going to make you say otherwise. Okay. Heath Ledger or Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, no question. Oh, Heath Ledger.
You know what? In my brain, this sounded like a great game to play, and now I'm like, literally nobody
Nobody can top
Nobody
Heath
compares
Ledger.
to Heath Ledger. Okay, let me just try, okay? Heath Ledger or Chris Pine in Princess Diaries 2?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger or Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing? I'm having to expand out of the 90s because...
That one is a little harder. Oh, boy. Specifically in Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing.
Dang. Heath Ledger.
Okay. Heath Ledger or Richard Gere in Pretty Woman?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger or Hugh Grant in Notting Hill?
Heath Ledger. You don't have to finish that sentence.
Heath Ledger or Chad Michael Murray in
Heath
A
Ledger.
Cinderella Story?
You don't have to finish that sentence.
Heath Ledger or Ryan Reynolds in The Proposal?
Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger or any man in this whole entire universe?
Well, I do have a husband, but
dang.
Heath Ledger.
I was trying to catch you. Okay, you're too good. Okay.
No, I said
Well-
Heath Ledger at the end.
So is Heath Ledger 10 Things I Hate About You the #1 rom-com leading man.
Maybe. Yeah. Who?
Or should I
Yeah.
even expand that to all romance?
I mean, I'm
No.
sure I'm forgetting somebody.
Look, if we say rom-com, then that still saves us Patrick Swayze to be number one in a different category.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you follow us on Instagram, I posted that carousel that was like, okay, whatever your birthday month is, that's your rom-com boyfriend, okay? And I texted some of my friends just to see what they would pick if I were to let them pick for their birthday month. And literally every single person said their first choice was Heath. The way I am slurring my words, I'm so sorry, you guys. Literally every single one of my friends, their first choice was Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You. So he might be the ultimate rom-com lead.
Well, and he could have been replaced by Augustus Everett. And now
that ship has sailed.
Yep, he's going to stay at the top of this list. We'll see with the rest of them that come out. But no, he really is like I like Matthew McConaughey, right? Like, I like Mark Ruffalo. I like Paul Rudd. Like, they're all cute guys, whatever. But something about Heath Ledger in this movie is just so perfect. The only thing that comes close before we wrap up is Robert Pattinson on his honeymoon in Breaking Down Part 1.
Amen.
But literally just on his honeymoon.
That is crazy. Oh my gosh. Wait, we have to watch Twilight now.
We really do need to have a Twilight episode, but now it's like springtime and the earliest we can do it is like September. Maybe that will be my birthday episode.
Man, after tax season ends, I always just want to like watch comfort movies. And I'm wearing my Twilight shirt today, and I made a Twilight reference earlier today. And so every time I think about Twilight, I'm like, man, I just want to sit down with a blanket and a tree and watch Twilight.
Well, last time I went on a weekend trip to visit you, we watched all 5 Twilight movies. I don't think we have time for that this time.
Did we actually make it through all 5?
We did.
That's crazy of us.
It was 5 years ago. It just popped up on my memories a couple days ago.
That's actually crazy.
So, full circle moment. We're too tired, guys.
But there was one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't have an episode without mentioning people we met on vacation. I mean, we've already mentioned it like 3 times. But I rewatched it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a friend that hadn't seen it yet, and she just finished the book. And I just wanted to say, so when it first came out and we watched it, we had both just finished rereading the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crazy, the difference not reading the book right before you watch it. It makes a big difference.
You enjoyed it more?
I did enjoy it more, but I mean, I stand by everything we originally said. And also after watching You, Me, and Tuscany, I was like, no, this is a pretty good rom-com.
Yeah.
Like, I still like it better than You, Me, and Tuscany.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rehash all our critique, but I will say I did enjoy it slightly more.
Yeah, I could see how like the people that only read it once would watch that movie and think like this is a great movie, I draw the line though at the people that say they enjoyed it more than the book. No, sorry. I know we just in our last episode did a whole rant about that's my opinion. But I'm drawing the line, you're not allowed to have that opinion.
That is a crazy opinion.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to call out anyone. If you have that opinion and you're listening right now, I accept you. I just disagree.
I accept you.
Don't stop listening to us, but there was just something missing, okay?
Yeah, you just finished the movie and you're not quite as fully satisfied as you are when you finish the book. Which maybe that's just how movies versus books work. No, they could have done better.
I think that, I think it's okay to like ask for more. I think that we're women in general right now. We're put into a weird spot where we're not getting very much of what we're asking for in terms of like movies and theater experiences. And so then when we do get that, it's like, dang, here, have it, Or it's like, okay, we're getting this one, so like make sure you're like on your knees praising them for it. And it's like, no, like we want what we want. But like why are we not allowed to have any expectations for it?
Right.
So we'll keep voicing our opinions. Again, like that can be done tastefully. I don't think people need to be up in Patrick Schwarzenegger's comments, but like we can voice our opinions, you know?
Amen. All right. You guys, you don't hear the original episode because we edit. But like if we were to just release this episode without any edits, the amount of pauses and restarts and stuttering that we're going to have to take out on the cutting board, as Sydney says. This is why we should not record at 10 o'clock. It's almost
No.
midnight. We started recording
Yeah.
at like 9. Oh
And
my
it's funny
gosh.
because like Alan didn't go to he went on a run earlier in the day so that he could like hang out with me tonight. And I was like, well.
And now you've been in here for 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's okay. Okay, are you ready? Happy birthday to you. That's all you get.
We just had to get Sydney loopy and tired enough to feel brave enough to do it.
I had 3 hours to build up my courage.
She doesn't need any alcohol or anything. You just put her in front of a mic for long enough and she'll eventually loosen up.
Sleep deprivation and a microphone.
That was good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be cast as Marilyn in the next biopic.
Okay, well, let's
All
finish
right, well,
this.
Happy
We've rambled
birthday
enough. Thank you.
on Monday.
Thank you. I'm excited to see you on Friday.
And we're excited
In
to see all of
person.
you, our audience, next Friday.
Yes, next Friday is The Devil Wears Prada 2.
So go get your ticket. Again,
Wear your-
apparently we've all got to show up in theaters. Tell your joke. That was going to be a good one. Sorry.
Wear your florals and grab your girlfriends and hit the theaters.
Okay.
Funny.
Well, we'll see you all next week. We might be a little less loopy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.